This Korean man is overcome after being reunited with a family member after 50 years. There are tears all round this busy hall in the South Korean capital, Seoul. This is the third so-called Korean family reunion, a joint effort by the governments of North and South Korea to unite families separated by two countries divided by political ideology. Old photographs and family histories are shared as some meet each other for the first time. Some cannot believe their own eyes. These are the lucky ones. 100 people from either side, selected out of hundreds of thousands of applications from families desperate to see long-lost loved ones. Some are too overjoyed to speak.
아,
79-year-old Cho Hee-won fought for communist North Korea during the Korean War. Captured in 1951, he was later allowed to settle in Seoul. With all contact forbidden, he never heard from his family again, including the wife and child he'd left behind. In February this year, he met his daughter for the first time.
전혀 생사조사마다 개우 지금 생사를 알게
If there will be
됐는데
a permanent meeting
만약에
I really don't
판문점이나
care where it is set
어디도
up.
좋아요. 저는
It can be Mount
금강산에 해도
Baekdu
좋고 백두산에
or
해도
Mount
좋고
Kumkang, wherever
비행기
it
타고 갈
is,
수도 있고 노자로
by car,
관계없이
walking or by
설치만
airplane.
되면은
It's okay with
한
me.
달에 한 번이고 열흘에 한 번이고 3일에 한
As
번이고
long as I
만날
can
기회만
see
있다면은 빼놓지 않고 아이들
I
만날
want to see them as often as
작정입니다.
I can because I
너무
really miss
그동안에
them very
그리웠기
much.
때문에.
During the war, an estimated 1.2 million North Koreans fled south. Many ended up here, Seoul. A number of South Koreans were conscripted by the communists and never returned. New generations finally have a chance to see the families they have never met, but time is of the essence. Many elderly relatives don't have long to live. The face of politics in Korea is slowly changing, and an air of peace and reconciliation is finally being felt here. Following a historic inter-Korean summit a year ago, both nations can smell unity, something most here are hungry for. But decades of hostility are hard to overcome, and overtures of peace by North Korea are not believed by all.
저는 견해가 또렷합니다.
I have my own
통일은
opinion.
상당히 어렵습니다. 무슨 뭐
I
10년 후,
can't see the
30년 후
two
이런 소리들
countries being
하는데
united.
모르고 하는 소리예요.
Many people
통일이라는
say
거 하는
North
거는
and South Korea will be
저는
united
어디
in
가든지 그걸
10,
주장합니다.
30
통일은
years.
참 어렵다는 거.
But I
그리고
have a different view.
뭐 유럽의 뭐
I always say I can't see the
독일이라든가
two
그런데
countries
얘들은 많이
becoming one.
드는데 우리 민족은 독일
People like to
민족하고
compare
전혀
us with the
달라요.
East-West Germany
똑같은
story,
민족이
but
아니에요.
Germany is very different
옛날
from
사극을
Korea.
봐도 그렇고
We are different
전혀
people.
달라요.
I
민족
can't see
가치가
the two
다르기
countries
때문에
being
어렵고
united.
The two sides maintain a strong military presence along the border. The three-year Korean War ended in 1953. No peace treaty was ever signed. Both sides are separated by a demilitarized zone. Every day, soldiers from the south walk the perimeter of the border fence. Stones are wedged into the wire. They fall out if there's any sudden movement. The enemy is carefully monitored. Anti-American propaganda is carved into the hillsides of the north. The military presence will remain here while reconciliation discussions continue. This heavily militarized border is the Cold War's last frontier. Soldiers from both sides stand inches from each other, divided by a symbolic line. US and Soviet forces divided the peninsula into the communist north and pro-Western south at the end of World War II. Now, as the rest of the world attempts to move towards a globalized, unified economy, this symbol of a bygone era looks old and out of place. The Red Cross have overseen 3 family reunions, and there are plans for a 4th to be held in May. So far, over 10,000 living relatives on both sides have been found.
그래서 지금 비록 100명씩 이렇게 조그맣지만 이것은
The
온
exchanging
민족을
of separated
대표하는
families,
그런 그
even though
분단의
it is limited to only
슬픔을
100
놓고
people each
생사함도
time,
많은 그 사이를 해소하는
is a very important
대표적이고
exercise.
아주 그 상징적인 심볼릭한 그런 거란 말이에요. 비록 100명씩이지만 민족의 소름을 그들이
Overcoming
대표해서
the
가서
sorrow created by
푸는
50
그런
years
의미가
of
있어서
separation
상당히
can also
중요하다고
serve
생각합니다.
to relieve the
이것이
tensions
남북의
and
적대
hostilities
관계를
between our two
해소하는데
countries.
아주 중요한 거라고. 이렇게 시작이 되면
Red Cross officials are currently overseeing discussions for the creation of a permanent meeting place for all families.
우리 스스로의
Our two
남북한에
countries
있는
have to be
우리
united,
한민족을 위해서도 그렇고
not only for
주변
the sake
국가를
of the
위해서도
people of
그렇고
Korea,
새로운 세계 평화
but for the
건설을
sake of the neighboring countries
남북은 통일이
and
돼야
for the sake of
되고
peace around the world.
그게 뭐 5년 걸릴지
It might
10년
take
걸릴지
5,
30년
10 or even
걸릴지
15
그건
years.
우리의 노력에도
It really
달렸고
depends
또
on the
우리
will of the two
주변
nations
정세의
and changes
변화에도
in
달렸다고
neighboring countries.
생각합니다.
Singer Sol Won-do is a household name in Korea. He has released over 13 albums and regularly hosts his own television programs. Inspired by the family reunions, he has written a song to commemorate this new chapter in Korea's volatile history. His award-winning, passionate songs are hits on both sides of the border.
정말 이분들이 하루빨리 참 만날 수
I have
있었으면
always felt
좋겠다는
passionately
그런 항상
in my
마음을 가지고
mind
있었죠.
that these
근데 그게
separated
이제
families should be allowed to
정말
meet one
2000년대
another as soon as
들어서면서 가족
possible.
상봉이 생기고 또 서로 만나고 그런 그 기쁨 속에서
The song, Long Lost 30
이렇게
Years,
있을
is
것이
about
아니고
this,
또다시
about the
제가 그
parents and
당시에
siblings who
불러서
spend lifetimes
히트쳤던
trying to
잃어버린
find their
30년
lost
노래는
families.
부모 형제를 애타게 찾는 그런 가족의 아픈 마음을 그린 노래고 이제는
During the
정말 그 많은
separated families
시간을
reunion, I felt I had to write a
정말
song
그
about this,
가슴 졸이면서
about the
기다려봤던
emotions felt
그분들의
and
심정을
the time spent
뭔가
waiting
노래로
in
만들어야
hope
되겠다는
that one
생각이
day
들어서
you might
사실 이
meet your
노래가
long lost
탄생이 된
family.
겁니다.
Many share the singer's optimism, and with plans for a second inter-Korean summit to be held later this year, it's hoped the wave of reunions will continue.
오늘 이 순간까지 내가 살아온 것은
For the time being, those brought together after lifetimes apart have to endure saying goodbye, not knowing if they will ever see each other again.
이 결에서